Right, I've got an excellent new set of tools for my Myford ML7 since I've modified my compound slide to take 12mm shank tools. It's this set here from Banggood, and you get 7 tools in all and all the inserts for these tools. And it looks a really good set. There's 1 or 2 new tools that I'm going to try. I haven't had one of these before. It looks a nice little turning tool, and I haven't had one of these type. And I have this one in this set. This is the right hand version of the tool, so it cuts from the right hand side, and then I've got the left hand version which cuts the other way as well. So it's great having that set. That'll be great for facing off the back of like shoulders or whatever, or turning back towards the tailstock. And I'm totally amazed at the price of these tools now. Several years ago you could only get 2 of these tools for what now you can actually get 7 for the same price. Now, one of the reasons that I actually modified my Myford ML7 is that I'm actually machining quite a bit of square bar lately, and I wanted to improve the rigidity of the tooling. Going up to 12mm is just right, and obviously you can have your tool further out from the tool post and it'll still be nice and rigid. Another thing that I like about the 12mm shank tools is that the torque screws are much larger than the ones in the 8 and 10mm shank tools. They're easier to handle and less likely to actually get lost. I've also just got some excellent new Blue Nano Inserts for this tooling, for the turning tools. And I'm really pleased that Banggood have just started to do these ones. Normally they do the 04 radius on the front on the inserts, but now they've brought out these ones which are the 08, so they're larger radius. And these are actually great for intermittent cutting, and I'll be showing these in use in a moment. And I've also got the Blue Nano insert for this type of tool as well to try out at some point. And over the weeks, or the coming weeks, I hope to show various different things on the lathes where I'll be using these tools and trying out different inserts or whatever and seeing how they perform. Another thing that I do when I get tooling and the inserts, I write the actual insert number on the back of the plastic boxes, so I know exactly what to order next time. I also draw a little picture of the insert in a book and make a note of it, so you can actually easily go to that for reference and then order new inserts. There's so many different numbers and things to actually remember when buying inserts, and it can be very confusing, and you can very easily order the wrong one. Another thing that I've recently made for my Myford ML7, well, I just remade this top piece. I've made this one in another video I showed, and it's the tool centre height gauge for the Myford ML7. This one here is for checking the centre height of the rear tool post with the tools set upside down. So if the tool touched on that one, it will be spot on centre height. And then if you use this one here, you can actually check the boring bars and the turning tools in the ordinary front tool post. If you touch on the underside here, they will be dead centre height. Or you can use it the opposite way, so that you use a clock on here and check the front tool post tool, so you 0 on here and then go over the edge of the tool to see that it's 0 for centre height. Or you can 0 the clock on the underside of this one and check the rear tool post on the underside to see if that's spot on centre height. And they're great little tools to make up and quite easy to make really. This is just a inch diameter stainless steel bar, and then I've put that into a bore, or made a cap of brass to actually go over that stainless steel. And then I've put a rare earth magnet, so it's actually inset in the brass there, and below the surface here. This one's screwed in with a 2BA brass screw into a countersink hole that was in the rare earth magnet already. I think I got the rare earth magnet on eBay. And when that actually sticks onto the ways, the rare earth magnet does not come in contact with the machine at all, so it can't damage the ways or scratch it in any way. The brass, like I say, stands proud. Also, these rare earth magnets are quite brittle, and if you did have them standing proud or actually sticking onto the ways, when you actually go to do that, sometimes they can actually shatter. So that's why you have them below the surface of the brass. Also, when you actually make these, you can actually make this brass obviously short. You can make the cap of brass, and then you can keep adjusting the bore until you get the exact length of 3.5 inches from this face here to the underside that screws on the top, and that's the exact centre height for the Myford ML7 or the Super 7. When you fix this piece onto the underside of this one here becomes dead centre height for the rear tool post. And I did have a very short arm sticking out from this one, but I thought, well, it'd be much better with longer arms so you can actually get it right over to the tool. And I had some 01 stainless steel, or tool steel should I say, and it's quite thick, nice and flat, so it's ground tool steel. And that's why I remade the top, and all this I did was actually screw it on with a countersink brass screw down through and a nut on the underside there, and now it's a really excellent little tool. Right, so this is the centre height gauge in action. Make sure the ways are nice and clean, and also that there's no swarf or anything attached to the rare earth magnet. Make sure that's absolutely clean, and then that one just sticks on the ways like that, and then I can actually put that arm over the insert there to see that it's on centre height. And you can get a very accurate centre height by using a very thin feeler gauge. I've got a 2 thou one there, and if I put that on the top of the insert, I can feel that it won't actually go over that, but take the feeler gauge away and it does. I can just feel it touching that steel arm. Or you can use it the opposite way on the other arm, and put a clock over that one, zero it on there, and then zero it on the edge of the carbide insert. Or just bring this arm up to the edge of the insert like that, and you can actually use a slip over that one until you get it bang on centre. So it's a really versatile tool, and you can get absolute dead accurate centre height using it. So I'm going to face off this rough billet here. I've sawn it off, and it's very uneven. And I'm going to be using this Blue Nano Insert to do the intermittent cutting on this one. This is bright mild steel, and I'm actually using this piece of bar here to actually make a tool post. And this is my 125mm 4-jaw independent chuck, and whenever you're doing work like this on the lathe, always spin the chuck by hand to see that it's not going to actually clash with anything before starting. And because I've sawn this piece off from a block, like I said, it's very uneven on the face, and I've put a centre drill hole in the front there using the live centre to actually steady it and give it more stability on those first few cuts. And I've found these Blue Nano Inserts to be absolutely excellent for this type of work. So that's about it. I think the 12mm shank tools are the best tools for this type of lathe. They're extremely rigid, being that size, and these Blue Nano Inserts are absolutely exceptional for this type of work, cutting this material and the intermittent cutting. And I've tested quite a few of these Blue Nano Inserts, and I can actually say that I reckon that they do last about 5 times longer than the ordinary inserts, so they're very cost effective to actually buy and use. So if you have modified your lathe, or you're going to modify the lathe to actually take these 12mm shank tools, I'll put the link below for the actual tooling and for these new Blue Nano Inserts with the 0.8 radius.